Uganda,
and your honeymoon
supporting
has to be
Uganda.
in Uganda.
Yes, there is a lot.
You want to share so that we...
I mean...
honeymoon is a secret, please. I'm not influencing Mercy to tell us her secret.
We shall cross the bridge when we get there. But I'm telling you, there is a lot to look out for in Uganda. Because tourism actually contributes 7% of the country's GDP.
Yes, it does. A lot.
So you can imagine very soon, if we make direct flights now from different countries, they're coming in. Chinese, Chinese are one of the most tourist people in the world.
I was told, I didn't know.
They really
yes.
take time to travel. Yes.
So, and then the other thing, one of the things that I keep on imagining is imagining Uganda having all different airports. Jinja has an international airport. Kabale has an international airport. Karamoja has an... Mercy, please support my vision. I dream of that Uganda when, destinations are going to be direct. But, one of the things that bothers me is that, you come... Imagine going to Karamoja, you're coming from the UK. You need to first reach Kampala. Then you get a bus for about how many hours?
Oh my God, that's
5 hours.
Days. No. You sleep in a certain Mbale or...
So you spend money on hotel in Kampala, then you get a bus or,
But that's the beauty about touring. You make stopovers, you see district from district.
It's nice, but it's costly for some people and it's very inconveniencing. When you come for vacation, you need to rest. Imagine if you just flew in to Karamoja straight and then you make a choice.
Can Ugandans afford? Every time they raise transport fares on buses, we are crying, I can't go to Kabale because it's not...
No, I'm talking about international guests, Mercy.
Okay.
I'm talking about international guests. Imagine, do you know how some people, one of the challenges that, because I have worked with tourists before, and one of the things that really I realized that they struggle to plan with is transport around.
Oh, yeah.
You get? Because somebody's going to come and then has to be like, do you know someone with a car in Jinja who can pick us from the airport? And somebody who planned for a 1 week or 2 days vacation, you're going to realize that he's not going to visit more sites because he has spent more time traveling than visiting the sites. You get? So, but imagine you have an international airport in Jinja. Somebody's going to fly straight to Jinja, visit all the sites, and then add on others. Fly straight to Kabale. Go and eat your Irish potatoes.
I think we should just put one in every region. Why do you have to emphasize in Kabale? It's so beautiful. So later on, we are going to have Miss Rachel, and she's going to give us a lot of interesting facts that we have to look into, that we may have not known about Karamoja in the last few years, what developments have been made. Of course, last year, the Miss Uganda then, that is Miss Kalema. Kalema, yes, had a campaign of they launched a campaign of visiting Karamoja and supporting some of the different families, and of course they're trying to advocate for doing away with early marriages. Yeah, in Karamoja it's by 15 you're already married off.
Yeah, you don't know the process of marriage, do you? You wrestle.
You wrestle.
You wrestle with the woman you're going to marry. Yeah.
They still do that. You wrestle.
I told you, Karamoja is keeping the tradition.
Okay, I would love to see. You know what? I'm now rethinking. I'm rethinking myself. I want to see.
Just to pass this on, if you're a police officer and you're deployed in Karamoja, don't arrest people who are fighting. A man who is fighting with a woman and think it's rape.
Those used to be stories we used to listen to about women wrestling with a man
before they get married.
If he wins you. Then he's able to take you, to protect you.
Imagine, Mas, I pray for your soul if you're a Karamoja.
I mean, I would handle. Maybe I will get married because I don't have enough energy.
No, let's stop thinking about anything because...
Yeah, but...
You need first learn Kung Fu.
Oh, yeah. No. We have, as women... As women, I think we have to learn defensive mechanism techniques just for defense because we are vulnerable. Most for us lightweight women, we are most vulnerable. And I guess sometimes you have to just go and learn punch bags and, you know, just to defend yourself. You know, the round kick guys, when they had come, they were really...
You had started going to the gym?
Yeah, I'd started, you know, working with a little knife, which I know I wouldn't use. Which I now wouldn't use because they would just slap me and I would just fall to the ground. But regardless of that, really, we are really hoping to learn much more about Uganda and what we can use. Remember that when with the BRICS, I mean, sorry, I beg your pardon, the G77 guys people were here, and they introduced the MICE system that we're going to use to, you know, attract people. We have meetings, meetings and events that will help attract people in Uganda. Yeah. Yeah, beginning of, the events that we had, the G77 plus China, the NAM as well. You know, it was a beginning. Just imagine we are hosting events. You know, it could be one way of promoting Uganda. I mean, who would want to come in Uganda for just one day and go back without seeing? I remember that time we had the airport, they had put screens of gorillas for those that did not take time to see. Those that came were the delegates in the NAM days. I don't think some of them got time to, you know,
to go and visit some of these places.
Yeah. But they saw them on the screens. That was evidence enough. But you see, the fascinating thing about the rest of East Africa, I would take an example of Rwanda. Rwanda will have like one thing, but the way they promote their thing, my goodness. Wow.
They beat us with advertising, actually.
Advertising?
They beat us with advertising.
Yeah.
But Uganda is one country that survives by God's will. Because, I mean, to be honest, if you look at our tourism industry, we don't even do a lot of it's just individual.
We don't.
Individual commitment to make sure that they promote the likes of Amos Wekesa, who go out there and just make sure they talk about the country and promote it. But Rwanda the Rwanda government is advertising with some of the biggest platforms in the world. They advertise with Arsenal. I saw them with PSG. Yeah. I mean, these are millions of money, but they're harvesting from it.
Yeah.
Because I'm told for them now, like for gorilla trekking, they charge, I think, 3 times higher than the price of Uganda.
And how many gorillas do you think they have? Very few. Hours.
They have quite a number. And you know, we kind of share. Share. So there's a likeness that sometimes I think gorillas end up going to Rwanda because of how, you know, Rwanda. We will make sure that our gorillas which enter Uganda, we are not going to allow them to go back there. But anyways, Zambi, here we are. We started on a very sad note, but I think we still have quite a number of things that we need to talk about.
I think we shall continue that conversation of Chitezi probably tomorrow when you have someone to come in and talk about, well, probably someone from KCC.
Possibly because they have someone from KCC,
because they're the ones responsible. I'm seeing there, Kampala capital city.
But the news is going to have the details of some of these. They are going to be interviewing a number of victims. Oh my God. And also they're going to interview the leaders. So keep it on Smart 24 TV, and UG Tukole is also going to be there to discuss a number of all these things in details. And we have given you what to start with in the morning that you should be looking throughout the day. What else do we have here?
Well, of course, we're going for a short commercial break. I'm going to be coming in later on in a few minutes with sports and entertainment. And of course, so far, Uganda is not doing quite well in the Olympics. We only have 2 medals.
2?
Yep.
Gold medals?
No, 1 gold and 1 bronze. Well, yeah, but I mean, we are better off than some countries who are not able to participate. Yeah. And both of them in running.
But honestly, you know this Olympics thing, somehow it felt like the US went to take everything.
In Africa, it's South Africa. It is South Africa and South Africa. Yeah, South Africa and Kenya. Kenyans
no, actually, we have 4 medals, Mercy.
We have 4 medals?
We have 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze.
Oh.
Yes.
Stand to be corrected.
Yes.
Well, at least.
And we
so
are...
far before we had Chepte Gay.
Yes.
Then we had the lady. I think they have.
And we're in the position of 55.
Out of.
The countries are quite many. Let me.
Well, we're going to come back later on with that information in sports. Well, don't move away. We are going to be right back.
Isn't it where I stop?
Yeah.
This is where I stop.
Have you picked it?
Smart 24, driving business.
Mama nyabo, ino internet yewenyukanga ekizungirizi. Ate kamera yayo lumamyo. Bannange ebyandaka ku buggo. Guno mugano gwennyini. Funa kabodi supakati ku nsimbi ezisaliddwako ng'otandika kusinza emitwalo 49 zokka. Usasule mpola mpola sinsi 833 buli lunaku. Weewangulira omugano gwa kabodi supa okuva ku MTN Christmas eno. Weefunire GB 2 eza data wa MTN buli mwezi okumala emyezi 8. Weegambulire kabodi supa katikati okuva ku dduuka lya MTN wonna mu ggwanga. Everywhere you go, MTN. Ekolera wansi w'amateeka ga UCC.
6 laps to go. Can he produce his best form of the season and take the goal?
Now the race is on.
This Olympics, we're celebrating the gold in all of us.
It is impossible to quantify the excitement at the moment.
Stay connected to GoTV to watch our athletes go for gold in the Paris 2024 Olympics. Only on SuperSport. GoTV. Love it.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste.
Smart 24, driving business.
Well, welcome to Smart Men's Business, and of course this is the time we get to give you what is happening in sports and of course in entertainment, just a few bits, but of course starting off with entertainment, with sports. Well, of course you must have gotten reports from Noah as he said that so far we have four medals, and we have 1 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronzes, and of course at least we have really performed this time round. We have not lagged behind, and for those that were really representing, yes. So one of the medals that that we have is from Chepte Gay, Joshua Chepte Gay, and of course the runners are the ones that are getting us these medals. We have Joshua Chepte Gay who won a gold medal, and of course we had Peruth Chemtai also winning the 3,000 meter steeplechase, and Joshua Cheptegei 5,000 meter steeplechase, 2 golds, And then we had 1 bronze from Joshua Cheptegei in 10,000 meters. And of course, 1 bronze from Jacob Kiplimo in 10,000 meters so far. At least, I think those are the ones that we are likely to get. But who knows, as we are wrapping up the Olympics, there could be, something could come up, honestly. But of course, over the weekend, there were matches, yes. It was a really good one on Saturday as Man City played against Man U, and it was not it was not easy to watch for some people, but regardless, they did watch, and of course it was a draw. But when it came to penalties, Man City managed to beat Manchester United. But regardless, we move. Of course, as we wait to begin the Premier League this season, we are really rerouting and looking at how many players are going to be in which team, which player is going to be playing for which team, and how they're going to be performing. This is a time that they get to assess them on their performance. Well, of course, looking at Uganda's side, as Okello sets up Vipers and Bull FC for Super 8 finals right here. And I tell you, in Uganda, there is always some sports happening, if you want to get entertained, or you can just go to different stadiums. Now, of course, Alan Okello scored an additional time to Vipers, deserved 1-0 over a win over the Uganda Cranes select side in the semi-finals of the FUFA Super 8 MTN Omondi Stadium. Now, of course, the ex-KCC attacker got the winner of Milton Karisa, a layoff in the 5th minute of the additional time. And of course, that is how it really transpired. Well, of course, the next game, Vipers will be meeting up Bull FC in the final, the 31st of August, the same venue at MTN Stadium, Omondi Stadium, actually, right there. And of course, the KCCA beat Maroons 4-2 on the penalties, and after drawing 0-0. Yeah, so we are waiting to see that as well. And of course, yes, rugby right here as the Black Pearls win Women's 2024 Entebbe Sevens Cup. Well, interesting to see women playing these ferocious games. Well, of course, the Black Pearls won yet another circuit of the Nile Special 7 series, where they stopped in the 2023 series, as where they resumed this very year. And of course, looking at them, it was really quite interesting. Yeah, and of course, they won the Women's Cup final at the 2024 Entebbe Sevens after beating the home team Avengers with 26 points, and the Avengers had 12 points. Well, of course, Grace Auma, Lydia Namubiru, the ones that managed to, have wins, and of course they managed to walk out with 1 million Uganda shillings as their prize money for winning. The check was signed. Yes, check was signed as they had their trophy and $1 million. Well, I don't know how much, what $1 million will do, but of course, from their sponsors, Nile Special, right there. But it's good, at least they really got some. And of course, MVP, that was Nasozi, when the MVP, yeah, the valuable player right here. It was quite interesting looking at women playing rugby. Wow, it's quite a ferocious game, Needs a lot of energy, it needs you to eat, because once those ladies go up on you, trust me, you can't even lose breath. Now, of course, Away from that, Wakorach tips Casito to blossom in France as he preaches diligence and professionalism. This is also in line with rugby as well. And of course, The Seasons is a landscape reflecting poem that was pinned down in the 1730s by the legendary James poet, James Thomas. And of course, here we're looking at player Philip Wakorach has hinted on progressive trends of his national teammate, that is Adrian Casito, who recently joined the Tricastin rugby club in southern France. And of course, Wakorach, Gordon Casito, welcome to France, and the two players spent more than 24 hours together. You know, talking. When you reach some place and you get to know someone of your language, somebody almost share the same language or same norms, you tend to spend time and get to know more about them. So Casito managed to join Wakorach in France, playing. And of course, Wakorach is a new member of the Orens rugby club in France and has spent more than 3 seasons in Europe. And of course, it's quite interesting to have another one join him. Like I said, for most cases, as people play, there are always scouts watching. So if you're there and they get interested in you, so I like the fact that at least we are having representatives playing in international clubs. Very soon we shall have football players in Premier League clubs. Now, of course, English Premier League clubs. Now, of course, away from that, Uganda, as we climb to a close, a total of 10,700 athletes from the 206 countries were involved in this biggest malt sports fiesta. And of course, Uganda was not left out with how many? 4 medals now, 2 golds, 1 silver and 1 bronze. And of course, we are really, and of course, at the end of the day, they'll get some cut of the money. Yeah, and we were really represented, Peruth, Joshua Kiplimo, and those that were able to bring the medals in Uganda. Well, of course, as we get close to the Premier League, a lot is happening. A lot of transfers are happening in the world of sports, which I believe we have to take interest. And of course, looking at Harry Kane, gets standing ovation on Tottenham return. Now, of course, Harry Kane admitted to being blown away by the amazing reception he got upon his Tottenham return, before he was endorsing the qualities of Spurs' new boy, Dominic Solanke. Now, of course, the England captain enjoyed, the return to Spurs. Yes, after his Bayern Munich side claimed a 3-2 friendly win at the Old Club on Saturday. Like I said, there were friendlies over the weekend. That was Tottenham also. Was it Tottenham? Yes. Came back to his old stamping ground since his £100 million transfer last August, and he was given a standing ovation onto the pitch. And of course, he's back. He's back at it, and he's ready. Yeah. So Kane left Spurs in January to join Bayern Munich. Yeah, but he's back again. He's back again in action. Tottenham chose to parade a £65 million signing of Solanke afterwards, alongside fellow summer arrivals of Archie Gray and Lucas as well. And of course, Solanke, who happens to be 26, did not feature in these friendlies of these matches, but at least he will be playing for Spurs come the 16th. Now, of course, Manchester United, boss Erik ten Hag was really positive. Someone said that Man City was revenging for the FA Cup. Was revenging against Man United for the FA Cup. Yeah, but regardless, and of course, Brentford reaches terms to sign Liverpool to sign Fabio Carvalho, and of course looking at how he's going to be joining Brentford right here, and of course very much transfers. Looking at Dominic Solanke from Bournemouth joining Tottenham Hotspur, and of course Marcus Rashford, and of course, as Erik ten Hag praises Marcus Rashford's drive to reclaim top Man U form. Of course, the rumors that Rashi was going to join another team. Yeah, but now, of course, looking at Pep Guardiola's eyeing Arsenal's player right here, as Mikel Arteta's side pushed City all the way in, and of course the Pep Guardiola looking at Arsenal as their biggest threat. Yeah, looking at last season's performance, they were, chasing them really so hard. So that is Pep Guardiola's threat, Arsenal. The rest. The rest not intimidated, but Arsenal. And of course, Chelsea agree to sign 55 million pounds deal with Wolves for Pedro Neto. And of course, the 24-year-old will be joining Stamford Bridge for an initial 51.4 million pounds, with a possible transfer further 2.6 million pounds in adds-on. Yeah. So definitely there are very many, as we really wait for the Premier League to start very soon. We've already started off with the friendlies. It's going to be quite interesting to be back, and people are talking about buying their jerseys. Well, that brings us to the end of sports, but of course we are going to be looking at what is happening in entertainment. Yes, of course, a lot has been happening, in line with entertainment, across borders, and of course, looking at as we wrap up the Olympics, the people that are going to perform. Of course, Snoop Dogg was also part was also part of the opening ceremony. We had very many artists. We had Ariana Grande. Well, now Billie Eilish, Snoop Dogg, and more will perform. Going to be performing at the Olympics closing ceremony. And of course, Phoenix, originally from France, but based in the US, kicked off the show. Their show as the athletes danced and sang. This was the beginning ceremony, and of course, we're yet to see. And of course, we're going to see her. Tom Cruise also came in at the beginning, making an entrance as well. So those are some of the artists that are going to Snoop Dogg, her. Then we have Billie Eilish to perform at the closing ceremony of the Olympics. Now, of course, Tom Cruise skydives towards LA 2028 in Paris Olympics handover ceremony. He was also there, and of course, Zelda Williams debunks viral photo, and of course, looking at very much more interesting. Now, of course, there are not so many movies that have really made it to the top list this weekend, and of course, looking at the box office of the renowned and famous movie that most people are looking out for, Deadpool and Wolverine, having crossed to $1 billion globally. Wow, it's quite an impressive turn right here. Quite interesting. Now, of course, a lot is happening in the world of entertainment. And of course, as we wait to see more concerts coming in here in our country, Uganda, and yeah, hope you pay. Well, there are very many concerts that really fetch Uganda artists some money. Well, that and more. And tomorrow, as Andrew comes to give us the latest of entertainment, yeah, I'm just chipping in to let us know what is happening so far. These are the people that are going to perform on the closing ceremony. Billie Eilish, Snoop Dogg, and very many artists as well. But in terms of sports, Uganda has done its best. And with the 4 medals that we have, we congratulate everyone that really participated, the biker, the cyclist, and the rower, and of course the runners. Thank you for representing Uganda and doing us proud. Well, of course, it's just 12 minutes to the top of the hour, and of course that brings us to the end of sports and entertainment. Let's go in for a short commercial break. Coming up is the Business Insight with Noah, and of course our guest, Miss Akidi Rachel, who is going to be telling us more about Karamoja, what it has to offer, what new improvements have been made. Why is it the #1 destination that most people are looking out for? Well, you could also take time and go and see what Karamoja has, in terms of they're really vast with culture, tourism, and very much more. Well, that and more when we come back.
Smart 24, driving business.